We all have a desire for meaning in our lives, for what we do to have relevance in the world. We want to be proud of what we have done. We also seek meaning in everything we see and experience, attributing it either from experience or an imagined cause. When we perceive the world, we need to assign a basic meaning to what we experience. This helps us to explain, predict, and hence both to avoid dangers and to achieve our goals. Beyond this basic interpretation, we also seek a deeper meaning in our experiences and actions. Meaning does not exist by itself. We attribute meaning to events, which gives meaning to our lives in a way that creates our sense of identity. If we cannot explain things through rational or scientific means, we will resort to belief to give meaning. We gain meaning through others giving us attention. When we have purpose, we have goals. The achievement of these goals gives us a sense of meaning. Meaning can be local and short-term. It can also be global and lifelong. We hence could find meaning in both writing a simple letter or in helping to save the world. A meaningful life is strongly related to happiness. People who create and find meaning also create and find joy. We often find meaning through family and friends. We can find meaning at work, though this may depend on our jobs and the quality of our leaders. In 1,000 Splendid Suns, Miriam searches for a purpose in her life, how to live her life correctly. Her mother tries to set examples for her as she grows up, but they're twisted. Once she moves out and ends up with Rashid, all the meaning of her life that she once had is totally erased. But the stereotypes of men that her mother set up for her are turning out to be realistic, as they are shown through Rashid's behavior. Once Miriam gets to the point in her life where she is executed, the meaning of her life is slammed into her. This meaning came into her life through Aziza and Lala's love. We know that our lives are limited, and the thought of non-existence makes us think about what our life means. Such thoughts can easily lead us to seek meaning beyond humanity. Human beings seem to have a hardwired meaning-making mechanism that judges almost everything conducive to my survival or inimical to my survival, for me or against me. One of the first words that children learn and then repeat incessantly is why. We need to understand what is happening and why so we can better judge the effect it might have on our lives, in religion and universal principles. We cannot find meaning, we will create it. Even if finding meaning where there is essentially none. We also attribute meaning when things go wrong, blaming fate, luck, or God. It has been said that if God did not exist, then we would invent him. Meaning is often socially constructed and shared. We accept meaning from others and offer our own interpretation. Meaning is a production, a design that fits in with other meaning. It creates our world. Meaning may be deeply cultural, and those who do not share our meanings may be considered foolish or bad. In Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, Oscar seeks his purpose after his father's death in order to fulfill himself. He feels like he needs to go on this journey in an attempt to find reason or meaning. Once his father passes away, it's like he suddenly needs the reassurance to have some sort of relevance to the world, as if he was living under his father's wing. Life purposes cannot exist until you step back and identify, embrace, and implement ones of your own choosing. There is no one meaning of life, but rather a multitude of subjective life meanings. And there is no one purpose to life, but rather a multitude of subjective life purposes. Each person must sort out their life purposes and life meanings, realize that they are the arbiter of these purposes and meanings, and proceed to make value-based meaning that takes into account their values and principles.